The Shield is back. After years of speculation, the impossible just happened. Jon Moxley has returned to WWE, and the Hounds of Justice are reunited. If you thought wrestling couldn't shock you anymore, buckle up, because what we witnessed is history in the making. Let's break down everything. What is up, Suplex Rumble family? Welcome back to the channel, and if you're new here, you just clicked on the video covering quite possibly the biggest wrestling story of 2026. Hit that subscribe button right now because you're not going to want to miss a single update on this developing situation. I need to be honest with you all, when I saw what happened, my jaw literally dropped. I had to rewind and watch it 3 times just to make sure I wasn't dreaming. The wrestling world is in absolute chaos right now, and for all the right reasons. For weeks, WWE had been teasing a mystery man helping Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns against a common threat. The speculation was wild, fans were throwing out every name imaginable. But I don't think anyone truly believed we'd see this. Jon Moxley, the man who left WWE, conquered the independent scene, became a megastar elsewhere, and seemingly burned every bridge, has returned to WWE, and he didn't just return for a nostalgia pop. He returned to reform the most iconic faction of the modern era. Let me take you through this entire story from beginning to end, break down what this means, and discuss where this incredible storyline might be headed. Before we dive into the return itself, we need to talk about why the Shield matters so much to wrestling fans worldwide. When Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and Jon Moxley, then known as Dean Ambrose, debuted as the Shield back in 2012, they didn't just enter WWE, they dominated it. 3 hungry, talented, aggressive competitors who entered through the crowd, wore tactical gear, and operated as the most cohesive unit WWE had seen in years. The Shield wasn't just a faction, they were a movement. Their matches were instant classics. Their promos were must-see television. Their chemistry was absolutely undeniable. Watching these 3 work together was like watching a well-oiled machine destroy everything in its path. They held tag team gold, they influenced main events, and most importantly, they launched 3 individual careers that would define WWE for the next decade. Think about that for a second. All 3 members of the Shield became world champions. All 3 became main event players. That's not just rare, that's unprecedented in modern wrestling. But of course, all great things must evolve. The initial breakup in 2014, when Rollins turned on his brothers, was devastating. Fans were crushed. It was the betrayal that launched 1,000 storylines and set the trajectory for all 3 men for years to come. We got teases of reunions. We got one-off partnerships. We even got a couple of proper Shield reunions that reminded everyone why this group was special. But then Moxley left WWE in 2019, and it seemed like the dream of a true Shield reunion died that day. Moxley went on to have incredible success outside WWE. He reinvented himself, proved he could be the man anywhere he went, and built a legacy completely separate from his Shield days. Meanwhile, Rollins and Reigns continued to evolve in WWE, becoming 2 of the biggest stars in the entire industry. The idea of all 3 ever being in the same ring again seemed like pure fantasy, the kind of dream match that would never happen due to contracts, egos, or simply the way the business works. Until now. So how did we get here? Let's rewind and look at the masterful storytelling that led to this moment. About 6 weeks ago, Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins found themselves dealing with a significant problem. A new faction had emerged on SmackDown. Let's call them a serious threat to the established order. This group was targeting top stars, disrupting matches, and making it clear they wanted to dismantle the legacy that Reigns and Rollins had built. Now, Roman and Seth have had their differences over the years. These 2 have been enemies as often as they've been allies. But when faced with a threat to everything they've built, everything the Shield stood for, they put aside their issues and decided to stand together. But they were outnumbered. This new faction had 4 members, and even 2 of the greatest to ever do it were struggling against those numbers. In a backstage segment about 3 weeks ago, Roman looked at Seth and said something that made every longtime fan's heart skip a beat: "We need a third." The speculation exploded. Social media went absolutely bonkers. Everyone had their predictions. Some thought it might be a returning superstar from injury. Others predicted a shocking debut from outside WWE. Some hopeful fans whispered the name Moxley, but most dismissed it as wishful thinking. WWE played this perfectly. They didn't show the third man. They kept the identity hidden. They used camera angles, lighting, and clever production to keep us guessing. In matches, you'd see a third set of boots, a jacket in the shadow, tactical gloves, all the Shield aesthetic, but never a clear reveal. The mystery man would help Reigns and Rollins secure victories, evening the odds, but would disappear before anyone could get a good look. It was driving the WWE universe crazy. Last week, Roman cut a promo where he said, "Our brother is back. And when he's ready to reveal himself, the entire world will feel it." The word brother sent chills down everyone's spine. Could it really be? The setup was perfect. Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins were in the ring, surrounded by the rival faction. The beatdown was happening. It looked bleak. The crowd was on their feet, knowing something had to give. The lights flickered just for a second. The crowd erupted because they knew what that might mean. And then, the sound that every wrestling fan recognizes, the distinctive entrance music, but with a new twist, a new arrangement that incorporated elements from both his previous theme and the Shield's iconic sound. The arena exploded. People were losing their minds. And through the crowd, wearing modernized tactical gear, came Jon Moxley. The look on his face was pure intensity. This wasn't a nostalgic return, this was a man on a mission. He hit the ring like a tornado, and what followed was absolute mayhem. Moxley went right after the rival faction with the aggressive, unhinged style that made him famous. But here's what was beautiful about this moment: he wasn't alone. Immediately, Rollins and Reigns were by his side. The chemistry was instant. It was like they'd never been apart. The three of them moved as one unit, utilizing classic Shield tactics. The triple powerbomb made its return, the move that had put away countless opponents years ago. The crowd was chanting Shield, Shield, Shield at a deafening volume. After clearing the ring, came the moment that will be replayed forever. The three men stood in the center of the ring, and slowly, deliberately, they brought their fists together in the center, the Shield signature pose. The flashbulbs from camera phones lit up the entire arena like stars in the sky. Roman grabbed a microphone and said simply, "We told you, the Shield always protects its own. And now, we're back." Seth followed up, 4 years, people asked if this could ever happen again. Tonight, we proved that some bonds can never be broken. And then Moxley, with that signature intensity, added, "I've been around the world. I've proven myself everywhere. But these are my brothers. And when your brothers call, you answer. The hounds of justice are unleashed, and everyone better take notice." The show went off the air with the three of them standing tall, the crowd absolutely losing it, and the wrestling world in complete shock. Okay, let's break down what this reunion means for WWE, for these three superstars, and for the wrestling industry as a whole. First, from a business perspective, this is massive. Jon Moxley returning to WWE is headline news across sports and entertainment media. This brings attention from lapsed fans who might have stopped watching. This creates mainstream buzz that WWE can capitalize on. And let's be real, the merchandise sales from Shield reunion gear are going to be astronomical. For the storyline, WWE now has infinite possibilities. The Shield can run through this rival faction and cement their dominance. But then what? Do they stay together and chase tag team gold? Does one of them pursue a world championship with the others backing them up? Do old tensions resurface, leading to an eventual breakup that's even more emotional than before? The storytelling potential is endless. From an in-ring perspective, we're talking about three of the best performers in the world at the peak of their powers. Rollins is arguably having the best run of his career. Roman has been the guy for years and continues to prove it. And Moxley has evolved into one of the most compelling performers in wrestling. Putting them together creates dream match scenarios that fans have been begging for. Think about the potential opponents. Established factions looking to make their name by taking down the Shield? Check. Individual superstars wanting to prove they can hang with the best? Absolutely. Multi-man matches at premium events? Yes, please. There's also the meta-narrative that makes this so compelling. In real life, these three men took different paths. There was speculation about personal relationships, about business decisions, about whether bridges could be mended. This return isn't just storyline, it represents real reconciliation, real respect between three performers who changed wrestling together. For fans who grew up watching The Shield, this is deeply emotional. For newer fans, this is an opportunity to see what the hype was all about with all three members in their prime. So where does The Shield go from here? Let me give you my predictions and some fantasy booking. Short term, the immediate program writes itself. Shield versus the faction that brought them together. This should culminate at the next premium live event with a massive multi-man match, maybe a traditional elimination tag match, or even war games if we're thinking big. The Shield should win this feud decisively, reminding everyone why they're the gold standard for factions in WWE. Interesting. I could see WWE putting all the tag team titles on Shield members. Rollins and Moxley as tag champions, Roman continuing his championship pursuits, creating this dominant force that controls multiple divisions. But, and this is the juicy storytelling, success breeds tension. Maybe Roman wants the spotlight. Maybe Moxley's aggressive style causes problems. Maybe Rollins tries to keep peace but can't. The seeds of a future breakup could be planted while they're still successful. Long-term, this reunion gives WWE the opportunity to tell the complete Shield story. From their debut to their breakup, to their individual successes, to reunions, and potentially to a final, definitive ending on their own terms. Imagine at WrestleMania 2 or 3 years from now, a retirement match for the Shield where they choose to go out together, on top, in the main event. That would be storytelling gold. Dream matches I want to see. The Shield versus a super team of current top stars. Imagine the possibilities. A Shield member versus Shield member triple threat match for the WWE Championship at a major event, where they all acknowledge this might finally break them. The Shield in a gauntlet match against multiple teams, proving their superiority. One thing is certain, WWE has been given a gift with this reunion, and based on the presentation so far, they understand how special this is. Wrestling fans, we just witnessed history. The Shield reunion we all dreamed about but never thought would happen is real, and the possibilities are endless. Now I need to hear from you. Drop a comment right now and tell me, what was your reaction when Moxley's music hit? What's your dream Shield match or storyline? Do you think this reunion will end in tears or triumph? Smash that like button if you're hyped about the Shield being back. Subscribe to Suplex Rumble and hit that notification bell because we'll be covering every single moment of this incredible storyline as it unfolds. Share this video with every wrestling fan you know because this is the kind of moment we need to celebrate together. The Hounds of Justice are back, the wrestling world is buzzing, and Suplex Rumble has you covered for all the analysis, predictions, and breakdowns you need. I'm your host, this has been the breakdown of the biggest wrestling story of 2026, and until next time, believe in the Shield. Peace.